You're listening to the AfterBuzz TV network, now the largest new media platform on the web, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, Keith. Johnson.
From the AfterBuzz Studios in Los Angeles, California, presented by Maria Menounos and Bing.com, and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies, this is AfterBuzz TV's Shahs of Sunset After Show. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest news and gossip. If you'd like to buzz in on tonight's show, you can buzz us at 424-256-1729. That's 424-256-1729. And now, another post-game wrap-up show for your favorite TV show. It's AfterBuzz TV's Shahs of Sunset After Show.
Hey everybody, Bing is for doing, and we are here doing the season finale of Shahs of Sunset After Show. This episode has been entitled. I thought you guys were going to make a boo sound or something.
I was going to say,
I did frown.
Thank you.
But is applause in order for that?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, why not? Anyway, they've completed something. So it's the season 1 finale. This was episode 6. It was kind of a teaser season entitled Old Friends, New Problems. I'm your host, Anna Koppel. With me here,
Misty Kingma. And this is Du'a Kaissi.
Hi, and I'm Yerman Gur.
Grr.
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 Oh, yeah.
I've never heard that before. Right?
We're in a great mood here.
Because I'm trying to keep my laugh under control, and you're making it really difficult.
We have had complaints about her laugh.
My entire life.
We'll see if she can do it tonight.
Speaking of
We'll
complaints, I just want to remind everybody to please rate and comment us on iTunes and YouTube.
But don't complain.
But it's okay. We do
Rating more than complaining.
We appreciate the feedback because we're here for you. We're here to make you happy. So without further ado, let's get into this episode.
Old friends, new problems.
Indeed.
Truth talk. Let's start with those blind dates. Speaking of old friends, new problems.
Oh my goodness.
Oh boy.
The blind
oh
date
boy.
from
You mean the blind date with Gigi and the blind raping with MJ?
Oh my goodness.
Let's
First of
start
all,
with the raping.
Yeah, that's a rape is always.
You want to
fun.
lead with the raping? Wow. If it
We
it
start
bleeds,
with the
it
hard
leads.
topics.
If it bleeds, it leads. I got it. Okay.
Ugh.
After that, I don't like Sammy anymore. I think he's a terrible friend.
Do you remember what I said? Do you remember what I said? I wasn't sold on him, and I think that he does have a
I
good
was.
side. But you just kind of saw his chauvinistic side with, like, all he saw was his friend that missed MJ, and, like, he didn't think about MJ. He just
No.
thought, not at all. But MJ considers him all the time.
And last episode, when he bought MJ those really expensive earrings, now it's just okay to like treat her poorly because he
P.S.
bought her that gift.
Those expensive earrings that he was like, yeah, it was just like $20,000, and they were like
$2,000.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
What an idiot. Yeah. So no consideration, and what a horrible, horrendous evening that was.
Probably the worst blind date I've ever seen in my life.
I mean, I was just horrified the
was
entire
unbelievable.
time.
But she held herself together. She went, like, she was so, you could tell she was so mortified, yet she went, and she's like, I'm going to endure this, I'm going to do that. Like, I am loving MJ more and more every episode.
She's so classy.
She really is. She holds herself together well.
Even though running out of there was not the classiest thing she's done, I would have done the same thing.
I would
it's-
have done it way before.
And
Yeah.
that's what I was going to say. Is running out of there fine. That might have not been the classiest thing, but she did it after she'd already stayed there
After she'd
longer
been
than almost
accosted.
anybody else would have wanted to stay.
well,
Yeah.
I would have hit him in the balls and broken his trachea, so that's not classy.
She was trying to be a good friend
wants
and
to
letting
go.
Sammy have a good time on his blind date. That's why she stayed.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh God, that it was hard for me to watch. He's sitting
really
there. She's telling me, or she's telling us, Sammy's just sitting there talking to the other girl. He's talking, and there's raping.
How
talking,
did Sammy not
raping.
see that? It's crazy.
And meanwhile, they're talking about these two. Raping, talking. They're like they're those crazy kids, aren't
Okay.
they? Aren't they though?
Two things. First of all, Sammy telling this gorgeous woman, Hannah.
Oh my God.
Gorgeous. Oh yeah, you're pretty fit, but if you would just tone up more. Okay, Sammy. Like, have you seen yourself?
Delusional. He's delusional.
Unbelievable.
But that I think that like some men think that way. Some men think that it's
a double standard.
And those are the
Absolutely.
same men that wear high tops with fat ankles and shorts.
And fedoras.
And fedoras.
Yeah.
And
Don't-
a pink
The
dress shirt.
constant fedora because he's balding.
Don't forget the fedora.
Unbelievable. He just came right out with it. Blind date.
But I also think that those are the type of men who, since their self-esteem is really not high, like they will put women down.
It's manipulating.
It is. It's manipulating to keep them with them and, treat them well enough.
Well, isn't that what you're supposed to do once you've started dating someone and they become
Right, not
the
on the
person you're
blind
with?
date. Yeah.
Not on the first, like, okay, so here's what's going to happen. I'm just going to go ahead and take you down to zero from ground zero. Like, we've
Right.
just met. You suck. You don't gain any pounds. Put on a little tone up a little bit.
But
now,
maybe
we
that
can
was
go.
Sammy on his best behavior, though. Maybe that was Sammy.
God help us all if that's the case.
No, I think Sammy on his best behavior is him, sacrificing his own like $30,000 bonus to help Muhammad's project.
That was
But
the
that's
best side of
another
him.
man. That's different.
Right. That's true.
Well,
Good point.
I mean, there's also a nice side of him. He was there when he hung out with MJ and her mom. Like, he does the social thing. He's part of the family, so to speak. It's just that I just don't. Obviously, there's issues there with himself and his social life with women.
Dear
Obviously.
Los Angeles, do not date Sammy.
Oh no.
You heard it here first.
He does
You
have money
heard.
though.
Oh,
what
what a lot of guys
whore.
in LA.
No. But that. Can we rewind?
No, we can't. It's out there now. Everybody knows it.
I think we should move on to Gigi. Gigi's blind date.
Okay, I think that's a great idea.
Okay.
It was an awful blind date.
Okay, highlights. Highlights.
Highlights. She said, "Oh, I haven't been on a date in 5 years." When she was talking to Mike at the beginning, and it showed. I mean,
Right.
the girl. First of all, don't order the miso soup if you don't know how to eat it,
Right.
and
She was trying to twirl it like spaghetti.
It was really pathetic.
It was unbelievable. And she could have just asked. I mean, I don't know if you guys have been in a restaurant like that where they force you to use chopsticks, if they even force you. But A, they should definitely have forks. Or B, they make those little cute little things. They roll it up in the rubber band.
Right,
it
for
turns them like
kids.
those little kitty chopsticks.
Yeah.
Like, if you want to learn and you want to be cute about it, be like, can I have the kitty chopsticks? But she's like, I don't
But also the way to
know.
eat that soup is with like the spoon to get the broth and the chopsticks to just sort of slurp the noodles. You don't twirl the noodles on the soup.
I had
spoon.
never seen that before myself either.
Yeah. So
You have to suck the noodles is what happens.
Right.
But she just wasn't prepared.
Right.
I don't think she was used to it.
Honestly, that was the least of our problems. Let's get serious.
okay.
Okay.
She had like about 700.
The
we got
baby
stuck on the
factory.
chopsticks, but it's like, how many different blunders could you have had before you even got to the chopsticks? That guy Mike was like in for the long haul, buckling in before he even knew what was going on.
was his name also Mike?
I think it was
No.
also Mike.
No, it wasn't. It was like Alfonso or Al.
What?
No, it was not Mike. I know that. I know that much. And I want to say I thought I wrote it down.
I know he was a physician, doctor.
Doctor.
No, he was a
professional.
psychiatrist. He said he went into psychiatry.
Right.
No.
He's a
And then
physician.
Gigi
He's a
went
physician.
right into,
No.
I love me some crazy. I love getting into crazy people's heads.
Yeah.
No, he's a physician, but she wanted to get into psychiatry because she loves crazy people like
Okay.
Dahmer and Gacy. I'm surprised she didn't bring Africa.
Yeah, that is true. Yeah, and
Let me show you my big knife.
Yeah. She's like, oh, I just love crazy people because why wouldn't you want to get into the minds of them? Like,
Yeah.
because
As a guy,
Not
that
everybody-
that guy's facial expressions were very telling because he's like smiling, and all he wants to do is just like get out, just scrolling from left to right across his eyes like in a screen.
But I mean, that whole thing wasn't the only red flag. I mean, for me, the worst part was the whole baby factory comment.
time for the baby factory to open up.
She should know better.
that?
Come on.
Yeah, on a first date.
She
on
might
a
have
blind
just
date?
she might as well have just said "I love you" like halfway through that.
Exactly.
Just be like, a baby factory. I love you. Can we get married? And that would have clinched
Yeah.
it, I think.
Yeah. Can we get pregnant tonight?
I'm all about honesty, but I also think not on the first date. Does that really apply?
Well,
Right.
there's a difference between being honest, and she totally admitted it, and not having a filter.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
if you just say what's on your mind and you don't have a filter, then it's going to get you into trouble. Believe me, I know.
Do you?
I believe you.
Thanks.
Did you want to talk about it? Or?
No.
No, just mention it and gloss right over it. Sure. Okay.
No.
Moving on.
Okay.
So tonight seemed to be like a lot of just uncomfortable, horrible relationships. like MJ and her mother.
Yeah.
It was just, that was
Yeah.
painful for me to watch.
Well, I think I agree with you that it was painful, but I think it was painful. First of all, I disagree that Rez at the beginning it was like your mother just doesn't love you. Parents always love their children.
Do you think that's true?
Yes. I absolutely
As a
do.
mother?
I think
or-
even Dahmer's parents
No.
love Dahmer to a
I
certain
agree.
extent,
I
you know?
think that parents love their children, although the way they try and get like what's best for them out of them is very, very, dysfunctional a lot of the times. And I think that the reason that MJ's mom drives MJ so crazy is because she loves her as well.
I 100% agree with you. That's her way of showing her love, is trying to help her because she wants the best for her. That is 100% what she's doing, but it's 100% not working.
Yeah, because she's
Obviously.
old school. She's old school. Like what her beliefs are and what MJ's beliefs are different, completely different. So of course they're not going to agree on things and they're going to butt heads. But I think that when MJ actually brought it up to her, she was like, "You need to do this. You need to do this," and they're asking each other to change. That relationship is never going to work out if they continuously ask each other.
Well,
to
me
change.
personally, I don't think that was the best way to go about it. I mean, if you want to try to... She literally came out with, okay, so here's what has to happen. The entire nature of our relationship has to change. Usually you want to lead up to that thought. Maybe just bring in some leaders, just talk about some things that maybe they could work on instead of just saying, everything as we know it must change right
Maybe she
here
thought
and
that being
now.
delicate wouldn't get through to her mom. Like maybe she had tried that in the past.
Her mom does seem pretty harsh.
Well, it was
Just playing devil's advocate.
No,
No,
absolutely. And
that's-
that option A, option B thing was a hilarious scenario because at the end of that thing, I was like, you should have just. I want to go with option A. I would have just stayed with option A at the end of that thing because obviously
'Cause
option
she cut
B.
her off.
Yeah,
Like,
she's like, "Look, are you proud of you? You're lying."
Great
proud of your
impression.
option A.
Thank you.
I was really proud of MJ for telling her mom, like, your divorce changed me and has made me the way that I am. Like, maybe her mom needed to hear that. Maybe she didn't know that.
Yeah.
But how do you think MJ's mother feels about herself that she's not married right now, is she? She got divorced and she's a single Persian woman.
She's
she
a hypocrite.
cheated too.
Yeah. And so
Hypocrite.
it's very, very interesting. It's like that's a little bit of the hello pot. This is kettle.
Yeah.
Well, I think that absolutely along those same lines. I think part of their problem also is that at one point in the conversation, her mom was talking to her and saying, "Don't blame your problems on me." And meanwhile, MJ was coming back with, this is not about me, it's about you. I think both of them need to realize it's partly about each other and how her mom is and how she is as a person, MJ. And then the other half is how the other treats each other. So I think they're both denying the fact that either one of them has anything to do with the nature of their relationship, and they're just butting heads the entire time.
Yeah. But I will agree with the statement that you cannot, I feel like when you're at, I mean, she's over 30 now.
Right.
And you can understand that your parents are the way that they are and that they won't change, and then you kind of have to accept that and then grow as an adult. And then maybe she just needs to set her boundaries and then grow. But she's 30 something. If her mother's not going to change, she's not going to change. She can't let it affect her anymore. Like that's on her then.
I agree with that. In part, I think that there are some things that happen to you in your childhood, the way you're raised, whatever, that you just can't erase from your personality, that are just never
think
going to
so,
go
too.
away.
I agree.
And and you can obviously like do your best to get as much therapy as possible and grow as much as you can, separate yourself from it, but they say you are who you are by the time by the time you're 5 years old, so
Wow, I had never heard that.
oh really?
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
That's
read a
interesting.
psychiatry book.
Boom!
I've taken classes. Wow. Guess I missed that part.
I didn't mean for that to come off. Like,
okay.
this is terrible.
Okay.
I did say it like that. I apologize.
It's okay.
Little bit.
Apology
Little bit.
accepted.
Who is they?
No, psychiatrists, psychologists, people have done studies.
I read
people who went to
literature.
school, yeah. People who went to school and stuff.
Yeah.
Those guys.
I read it on Yahoo. Just kidding.
Bing.
So anyway, yes, I read it on Bing. Anyway, there you go. That was
Yeah.
my little
well,
input
can
on
we
that.
get MJ in here because we just gave her a ton of really great advice.
Yeah.
This is like a therapy session for MJ that we just did.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm sure a lot of people are probably trying to give her therapy sessions now. How do you think the show is affecting her after it's airing, like watching? Because it must be difficult to watch like your deep childhood, like
They sign on for that. They
yeah,
know that they're getting into
I was going
that.
to say, there's a certain amount of, you have to just take that in stride, I would think.
But it's different to sign on to it and then see it and then watch it. It's like it can really. I mean, Charlize Theron did an interview when she said that the first time she saw herself on screen, she was really disturbed. So I was just thinking, it's like these are these people's actual lives. That's
Right.
worse.
Totally.
Right. Yeah, I'm sure it's difficult too.
I think they probably take a little bit of refuge in each other's company as well. It's not like the show is just about MJ. It's as soon as she probably starts thinking about, oh my God, how do I look up there? The show cuts to somebody else. So it's not like she has to worry completely about the show's about me.
Yeah. Do you think MJ and Sammy are gonna make up? Like make up?
I would never make up with him after that. Do you think so?
Dude, he set
I
her
think they
up
will.
with her ex-boyfriend. I don't know about the lady perspective, the woman's perspective, but that sucked from a guy's perspective, let alone a woman's perspective. From
I don't think that's a deal breaker though for a friendship.
Well,
I think they can go get past that.
But you forget about, or maybe you don't, but let me remind you what happened after the fact. MJ, again, taking a classy move, not waiting for Mike's dinner, but call Sammy ahead of time.
Yeah.
So, classy move to say, like, let's talk this out. Sammy immediately attacks her. Oh, it's only 5 o'clock. You're already guzzling margaritas, which, by the way, there was like, an eighth of the drink gone.
Yeah.
And
It's to strip her down, so she's like.
right. So exactly. So
Yeah.
he immediately attacks her. Then he tells her, "Oh, do you want to know the real reason why? It's because I called 4 people and nobody wanted to date you, and they all think
It
you're a
is
disaster."
such a double
and-
standard. I'm sure she called 4 people to try to go on a date with Sammy.
Right.
You know? She just
Actually,
didn't say it.
no, but she wouldn't have said that. And frankly speaking,
Right.
that probably wouldn't have been the case because it sounds like MJ wouldn't be the person that would say, he's kind of overweight or he's kind of this. Probably said, I know this great guy. He's a great friend of mine. He's successful. He's great. You should go out with him. She's all happy about who she's setting him up with while he's trying to play damage control with her. That's
Right.
really not cool.
Well, and she said, she's probably too good looking for Sammy, but I do the best I can for him.
Exactly. Yeah.
So,
And that's I mean, she does a lot for him. He doesn't. And I think that he just threw that in her face to. And
yeah.
was he talking about how she gets sloppy drunk? Because she got
Yes.
sloppy drunk in that one episode.
Yeah, and he hammered away at that.
But what did that have anything to do with what happened that night? It wasn't like she was boozing. She was accosted by that Naveed guy from the Get.
Right.
He was literally on top of her from okay, we've got the shot now. Oh my God, I love
didn't even
you.
hear
I
him say a
missed you.
word before that. It was crazy.
Right.
Well, they had subtitles of him whispering. Literally, he just came out with, "I miss you. I love you. You're so gorgeous. Look at your
I'm not good enough
thick
for-
ass legs.
Yeah.
That's your
That's
your
your
through
line.
line.
Yeah.
That's your through line to thick ass legs.
Killed him.
Thank you. That's your through line into, oh my God, and then
I would have
Mall.
killed him.
Yeah.
Mall.
Yeah. Who are you? What is
and
this?
nobody in that place, I like that, just would have made me feel uncomfortable. Did nobody at the Roosevelt think, okay, that's a little inappropriate? And their friends
sure
are just
they did.
Talking, you should tone up more. Oh, mauling, no problem. Talking, yeah.
Hannah did stop that. She pulled Naveed off, and she was like, "I need to talk to you."
She should have done it sooner, though.
She should have. Maybe she just saw. I don't know.
Maybe
Yeah.
she did, and they edited it.
Maybe.
Oh, that
You
date
know,
was horrible.
I mean, there was a lot of editing. I'm sure. I feel like there was a lot of editing, like at the beginning scene with MJ and Mike. They were talking, and then all of a sudden it cut
Gigi
to Mike.
and Mike.
Oh, that's what I meant. I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
Gigi and Mike. They were talking, and then it cut to a scene where he was like, "It'll never happen between us." And it really seemed like they just spliced that right in.
Yeah, they can make it seem however they want to make it seem.
Yeah.
Oh, editing.
Oh, Mike.
Editing.
Yeah, where's Mike?
Just
been?
looks right at people at boxing matches. It's never going to happen with us.
I know you want it.
Yeah.
My
Let's
large
talk about
man
Mike.
nipples are
I know
calling
you want all of this. He's doing that with Reza too when they're working out. You're getting kind of big. I mean, what happened to you? I'm like, dude, you look like somebody put a syringe in and blew you like a little like a balloon. He's just
But up
puffy.
top.
He's just big, thick, and rich, all up in here. You guys laughed the
Thick and
first time I
rich.
said that too.
Thick
When
and
I was
rich.
watching the show, I was like,
Thick
this
and-
guy is thick and rich up top. I don't understand what he's talking about. He's
Never
not
heard that
cut.
before.
Oh yeah.
It's hilarious.
I know, I
Thick
like that
and rich
description.
up top.
Can I tell you guys my theory about
weird?
Mike?
Yes.
This relates to that. I think he is secretly not in real estate. I think he's a personal trainer because he went on the jog or whatever with Reza trying to help him get fit, and then he was talking about how he made Sammy
Yeah.
get in
Yeah.
the gym and do an hour of cardio. So I'm thinking he's trying to get his friends in shape. Is he building his personal physical therapy empire? on the side.
Yeah,
Maybe.
makes sense.
It's possible. Who knows what?
He
I mean,
also took Gigi boxing.
Yeah.
That's true.
Like,
Maybe he was
all
so,
he does is work out.
maybe he was so traumatized by all the real estate that he loves to tell people that he lost and how difficult time that he had. Maybe after that he's like, I need a career change, but I'm not going to tell anybody. I'm going to keep
so
telling them I'm
sick
in
of
real
it.
estate.
Yeah.
Hey, he lost a house. You leave him alone.
Dude, so did everybody else in the country.
Yeah.
And a lot of them were not worth a lot of money.
I'm bored with that storyline. Can we get more out of Mike?
No. You could maybe see more of his man nipples, but
I'd be okay with that.
And speaking of, we all went through that. Everybody went through that. Gigi spoke about her. By the way, Gigi, I think, really did grow some as a character.
She did.
Gracious. Uh-huh.
Giving
But-
credit where credit is due.
True. But, when she had that conversation with Asa in the recording studio, she was saying, like, you don't know what I went through in high school. Like, I was called a camel jockey, and Asa was like, we all got called that. Like, we all went through that.
Yeah. So was I.
And that's, and it's horrible, but it's like, yeah, like we all went through that. And it just, to rest on that for the rest of your life for being such an angry, hostile, horrible person. I mean,
So you're saying you think there's something more, like that Gigi's using that as an excuse?
I don't know that there is something more, but that she just allows herself to be this person
To
who-
overtake her.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think that she's totally using it as an excuse because the fact of the matter is, for this episode, she kept under control.
Yeah.
So she can do it. And
Right.
I'm sure it wasn't hard. So I just think that, my childhood, I don't buy it.
Yeah.
Honestly, there was a little bit of a disconnect there because, frankly speaking, I don't know what episode you guys watched, but the one I was watching was Gigi telling everybody that there's a softer side of her, and then at the same time still doing exactly what she's been doing all the other episodes, where her reality is different than the way it's either portrayed in the editing or in real life. Because the entire time Asa was saying, yeah, but you say mean things and you have triggers. Yeah, but I have triggers because I have triggers. Yes, I know. You have triggers. Asa continuing.
Yeah.
With Gigi coming back with, I have triggers. I'm just telling you that I have triggers. I get that, Gigi. What I'm trying to tell, and this continued, and then at the end of the whole conversation, her wrap-up is, I just don't understand why people aren't seeing where I'm coming from. When the rebuttal of that is, it's because you aren't seeing where anybody else is coming from. She says that she does, but I don't
Right.
see it. And then at the very end, it was like this weird turnaround where all of a sudden she's like, I'm just gonna take it easy now and then just embrace my softer side.
Yeah.
Where was that the whole episode?
The whole season.
The whole season.
I want to see where she's at when she watches these 6 episodes and sees herself. I want to see what happens now in season 2, if there's a season 2.
Or is it just kind of like putting the pot, like the lid on like the boiling pot, and it's just gonna simmer and simmer, and then all of a sudden it's just gonna explode, and she's really like, her next blow up is just going to be like all of these blow ups combined that she's just been like stifling.
Or maybe she'll have 3 kids by the next season.
I doubt it. That's great.
Who knows?
She's pregnant.
Yeah.
Not the way she's going on dates.
Yeah, that's true. Open up the baby factory.
Yeah, baby factories.
I think maybe being in a relationship would help her.
Maybe
Who
it would.
would date her?
I would
There's
Sammy.
a ton of people that would date
make
her.
who would make it past the first date?
Maybe Sammy.
I think there's shallow enough guys in Beverly Hills that would date her.
Yeah.
100%.
She's pretty.
Well, she
She's
said she hadn't
pretty,
been on
has
what?
money.
She said she hadn't been on a date in what, 5 years?
Yeah.
That was an exaggeration, obviously.
find that-
But she did sleep with that guy in Vegas.
Yeah, no, she had. I think that was a huge exaggeration.
Okay, it better be because 5 years. I mean,
But the
She's
thing
like
is,
5 years old.
but is dating somebody, seeing somebody, like having a boyfriend and going on a date are different things.
Yeah.
Truth
Hooking
talk.
up. Yeah,
Yeah.
she wasn't talking about hooking up because we know. We saw her do that in Vegas.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, Gigi.
But she seems to be on her way to transformation. So
As is Asa. I loved Asa this episode.
She was great.
me too.
Yeah, I liked that. I like that everything that like revolves around her storyline has no drama involved, and she really is like focused in on her career.
Yeah.
I really liked her art. I was very impressed by the event that was put on for her.
Asa is just such like a positive, beautiful person. She's just like this ray of light that is just like coming from her, like so, like not like on a screen, like I can just like feel her positive energy from a TV show. So
And I think she got great advice, frankly speaking, when she was told, not because her big boggle is apparently whether or not she should, take it to the next step, but then kind of dismiss certain things about herself or change the way she is or stay true to herself.
Right.
I think she should stay true to herself, and it is the job of representation out there to help other people see what it is you have to offer, because so many people that are trying to come up in entertainment in any form or fashion are probably spending more time thinking what is wanted out there of me rather than just being yourself, because in the end all you can bring to the table is who you are.
Right.
And I think that was great advice.
Yeah.
I really do.
Yeah. There was a quote there was something that Reza said about Asa that I thought was really poignant. He said that she is progressive, yet traditional, avant-garde, yet classic. And I heard him say that, and I was like, that's actually quite true.
I love that.
Yeah.
She's different than the modern Persian woman, something along those lines.
Yeah, and yet very, very similar as well.
Right.
Like,
Well, she's redefining it for herself.
Yeah.
And you have to respect that. When people come from such strong cultural backgrounds and historical traditions, to be able to go against the norm is not an easy thing, I would think.
Yeah,
Right.
and when she was talking to Gigi, she very articulately just let her know how the conversation was going at the dinner last episode.
amazing.
And she didn't have to raise her voice, and she was just like,
I feel like she's a role model for Gigi. I'm so glad that they're good friends now, because at the beginning they weren't getting along at that one dinner.
Right.
But, she's such a positive light in Gigi's life. And I hope that Gigi looks at her as like, okay, I need, she's normal, like she is different, but yet so inspiring. I hope that Gigi can see that somehow. Yeah. And this whole episode made me respect Asa like so much more.
Yeah.
As not just like this crazy out there girl who's really artistic, but as like, there's something powerful here going on.
Yeah.
2 words.
She's honing it
Diamond water.
I know, right?
No.
Luckily, she didn't talk about the diamond water
Drink
this episode.
it, believe it, be it.
And you know what doesn't
Love it.
It just doesn't
Love it.
make any sense though, because I feel like Asa's lifestyle and what she represents doesn't really like parallel the money thing. And I really think that everything and everybody on the show is about being rich.
Mm-hmm. But she's in the group.
She's about being rich in other ways.
That's true. Oh, I really like that. That was deep.
Thank you. Asa's deep. She deserved it.
Yeah. Who else is making changes? Reza.
Reza.
He has that relationship with his father now. I love that. Like, they were on the phone. Like, now they talk regularly. And he was like, okay, let
Now
us
he's
so
Reza
is
June.
James.
Yeah, Reza June.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that.
Terms of endearment.
So.
It has to be genuine to a certain extent. I mean, they're obviously talking to each other more than they had the prior 16 years. That's a lot of time not to have spoken, and they're obviously trying.
But they did speak, right? It wasn't like they hadn't spoken.
They had not spoken in 16 years.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's the
no,
impression.
I thought they only hadn't spoken in 1 year, but that they hadn't seen each other in 16 years. That's what I thought.
They had spoken, but they had. I think they were speaking, but they'd never spoken about like the situation. He never got it off his chest. It was just kind of this like elephant in the room. But I'm pretty sure because there was a like past episode he was on the phone with him. Maybe that was just to meet him. I could be wrong.
I could be wrong too.
I recall what you're talking about.
But he's like, you never sent a birthday card. You never called. You didn't care if I was alive or dead.
Yeah.
I don't know. Whatever. We'll have to watch that episode again to find out. I feel silly as a host right now.
Somebody should comment.
Yeah.
And let us know.
Absolutely.
How
Send
dumb
your
we are
comments
for
in.
not remembering.
Yeah, tell us we don't know what we're talking about.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Call in.
Do it.
Do it.
We
Do
dare
it.
ya.
Do it.
Little break.
Anything else that we want to say about anybody? This is the finale. I mean, this is it, guys.
This is it, guys. Oh my gosh.
Ooh.
I mean, it's all about family and relationships.
It is.
The whole season.
They have ties. What was Reza saying? They have ties that nobody else could understand. They've been through.
Traditions that other people haven't experienced, and histories, and overthrown governments, and so on. I mean, if I had a nickel for every time I heard somebody tell me that they come from an overthrown government.
Yeah. Right.
Honestly,
I would talk about it more. Yeah.
Well, technically speaking, America was built on an overthrown government.
All right, let's be sweet here.
No?
All right. Well, let's take a quick commercial break and come back and talk some news and gossip.
Great.
AfterBuzz TV. Hi, I was once like you,
a lazy, angry loner whose only joy was watching TV and surfing the net. And, like you, after I'd see one of my favorite TV shows, I'd be so excited and have so many questions that I'd actually have to talk to my douchebag coworkers about it at the water cooler. Then I discovered AfterBuzzTV.com. AfterBuzz TV produces after-show webcasts and podcasts for TV series of all kinds, like post-game wrap-up shows for all your favorite TV shows. AfterBuzz TV hosts are industry insiders who break down episodes of shows, take calls from fans, and interview cast and crew from each series, with over 60 different after-shows, from Boardwalk Empire to American Idol to Vampire Diaries to Real Housewives, and more. Now, after a night of TV, I can ignore my stupid coworkers, who I hate, and go straight to my desk and watch or listen to all my favorite AfterBuzz TV after shows, and have all the TV fan interaction I need. Thank you, AfterBuzz TV.
AfterBuzz TV. What do you want to buzz about?
Welcome back, After Buzzers. We're here buzzing about the Shahs of Sunset.
Buzz.
Buzz. And I think we're going to get into news and gossip.
AfterBuzz TV News.
Who'd like to start us off? I will.
Okay, great.
That was
That was just everybody
Sure.
was not excited there. I would don't make the pigeon sound. So I am super excited to say that Shahs of Sunset has been picked up for a second season.
Hear, hear.
Yay! So you will see us all here again.
whether you want to or not.
Good news. We'll watch.
Buzzing about Shahs of Sunset season 2.
We don't know when yet, right?
No.
We don't know when.
Okay.
But it has been confirmed, and hopefully we'll get a lot more cast members on the show, and, we'll be here
great.
buzzing away.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who's got what next?
Well,
Du'a.
did anybody watch that? Breza and MJ were on The View. Did anybody watch that?
No.
I did not.
I
catch it.
can't watch The View.
Why not?
I have a...
I'm a guy, so yeah.
Oh, well, I watched it for Reza. And he said something that was really interesting. He said that he did the show. He's doing Shahs, and he did the show to help gay teens, which I thought was interesting.
Because he's made such
What-
a point of
I
it throughout the
didn't
show.
know-
Across to me in the show.
Me neither.
Yes, he's gay, but he never talked about teens or helping people or bullying or coming out. He never.
But he's not. But that's not what he's doing. He's just representing the fact that he said something in this episode too, and he says they don't see me as the gay guy. They don't see me as the Persian. They don't see me as they see me as me. So I
Yeah.
think that he's just being himself and being himself and being. He doesn't be like you don't have to write it on your forehead, but just being proud of it.
But how is that translating to gay teens? Like most of the
Because
time
just
he's
gays in
mentioned being
general.
a member of the Persian community and breaking molds by being homosexual, but how is any of that becoming like, and if you're out there, gay teens, don't worry, everything's gonna be okay. Like he never did that. He was like,
That's what I'm saying.
hear me, gay
I didn't
teens.
get that.
Things will be fine. Live.
What
That
I
wasn't- that
heard
didn't
him
happen at
say
all.
was, "I'm going on the show to help put my family back together."
Right.
Yeah.
You know.
Or to just represent himself and his community, and what the beauty of his community and his culture have to offer. But
Right.
I never saw that translating specifically
Right.
to
Or to
gay
have,
teens.
like, killer zingers.
Yeah.
Yeah, he really added some zingers to the show.
Oh, he's been great.
Oh
Do you
my
guys
God.
remember the last episode before this one? He said like he wants Middle Easterners to learn to love each other, regardless of religion. Like I thought that was a really powerful message. Like,
Yeah.
I felt like that was why he was on the show, not for the gay teen message.
Right, because he's,
Interesting.
like, he's Jewish, right? Oh, he's, like,
Well,
half Jewish.
yeah, he's half and
half
half.
Jewish.
Yeah, half
And
and
he's
half.
gay.
Yeah, because his
Yeah,
mother's.
could there be anything else
mother's
against
side
this
is
man?
Islamic.
I mean,
Yeah.
And he's overcome it all. So he
Exactly.
is very inspiring.
Yeah, he can. Yeah, he can. He holds a lot of flags. So I was on this website, and I found it really interesting. I have everybody's net worth right here in front of me,
all right.
and so who do you think has the most net worth on the show?
Sammy.
Okay.
That's a great question. I'd actually go with Reza probably.
Yeah, I would go with Reza as well.
Why do you guys say that?
Well, he seems to do really well in his real estate, and now that the show is aired, like, he just seems to be, everybody's all about Reza. Why
Why
wouldn't
do you
they
think
be?
he does better than MJ? They have the same job, right?
They do. Well, he seems to have a better place, and killer clothes all the time. He's always in his cute little
The Gucci.
outfit.
The Gucci
I
tie.
I think Reza probably also, and I'm not saying that MJ doesn't have self-confidence in her business abilities. I just think that Reza has a little more of a total world savvy, in the sense that he probably, the first thing he did was get himself a portfolio manager. He built assets, took out investments, and took all that money and allowed some of it to reflect his worth. Whereas MJ, I think, is a little more down low.
So who is it?
Okay, so it's actually a tie.
It is?
The highest, and this is what I found shocking. It's actually, and you were right, Sammy at 10 million.
Cha-ching.
Also, Gigi.
Oh,
at
that breaks
10
my heart.
million.
That is shocking.
Yes, the second.
That breaks my heart.
She doesn't have a job.
Well, and I'm thinking it's probably what she would probably be entitled to with her, her family
With her
fortune.
What, she's
Inheritance.
inheriting?
Yeah, perhaps.
Should not
Somewhere out there, Sonny just heard us talk about this and just rolled over on
Said,
her bed
"You're a
or
mean
something.
girl."
Yeah, exactly. It's like
Du'a.
that just makes her mad. She's
Yeah.
like, I built my empire from scratch.
I don't know. Well, hold on. At a close second, Mike, his net worth is $8 million.
What?
Then what the heck is he complaining about?
Shocker.
Reza is next at $6 million.
What?
Yes. MJ is $4 million, and then Asa is $3 million.
All right.
I'm gonna
so-
cry because the lowest number is 3 million.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna go and cry now.
Wow, that's really interesting, especially about the Mike part.
Yeah.
I have to say.
Yeah.
Really? Because he's always working. I feel like he's always closing deals.
He's the one that's always wham, wham, wham.
Exactly. I was like,
exactly.
dude, get a grip. You're doing just fine. Get
Yeah.
over it.
Oh, I lost everything. I lost my house.
How much
Yeah.
do you
I
have
lost
before?
my properties. Yeah.
Go to Aruba.
I only
go on
have
a
$8
holiday. Let
million
it go.
Dude.
I mean, that's crazy to me. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that is crazy to me.
Unbelievable.
And I'm surprised also with all this money that these people have that they still live in condos in LA. Is that weird to anyone else?
Yeah, for sure.
Well, they're not really condos in a classic sense. I don't know if you've been to any of those types of situations, but a lot of these people own the entire building, and they take the entire floor. Like,
Yeah.
instead of one condo unit, they'll take all 5 condo units
Yeah.
on that entire floor, knock all the doors down, and make it into a condo mansion.
Yeah, I get
These
that.
people.
It's an LA thing to do, right?
Actually, I think it's more of a New York
It's
thing.
more of a New York thing, I think, and also just because I don't know. I'm, gonna go ahead
I'm
and
just
stop
saying,
talking
I'm
now.
dying to have myself a house in the hills. So if I had $10 million, that's where I'd be.
Any other news? Anybody? Let's head into predictions.
And now, your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
Okay, well, this.
I don't care what you guys. That's the scariest sound I've ever heard in my life.
It's Halloween.
This is the season finale, so let's predict maybe what's going on in their lives or what will happen on season 2, since it has been confirmed.
Okay, I'll start. I predict that I really want to. Actually, what I really want to see is a love interest for Reza. Would love to see that unfold. I also still think that Gigi and Mike will get together. How can they not?
I was going to ask you about that, too. I
They
was like,
have
after this.
to.
Well, maybe when Mike was like, it's never going to happen for us.
Oh, so she's gonna try that much harder? Are you kidding?
Yeah,
You
isn't that standard? Like,
say
Girl
never.
wants what she can't have.
But that is like reality show foreshadowing.
absolutely. The old reverse
So I hope it
psychology
comes true.
works every time.
It does. That used to be one of my moves, just promise me this. No
Just one of
falling
them,
in
though.
love. Yeah, totally. It works every time.
That is a really
Just one of her moves, though.
interesting
She's
move.
Yeah,
I'm gonna try
yeah.
that.
I'm not interested in you.
Yeah, anyway. You have to be at a certain point, though, to say that. Anyway.
Like what point?
You
Is
have to
that
like, at
before or
least,
after the Baby Factory?
Yeah,
Yeah.
you have to have
Usually in
made
the
out like one time,
Oh,
at
okay.
least.
Okay,
and then-
easy.
yeah. Yeah, I
Second
know,
date.
right? Easy.
Like, no problem.
Okay, well, remember we predicted that MJ and Sammy were going to get together? That's over.
Wait a
Come
minute.
on.
It could still
Keep
happen.
Hope alive.
It could still happen. You know why? And this is going to be a horrible thing that I'm about to say. But MJ, I think, is used to having people kind of like beat up on her, like because of her mother. I think she finds it familiar. And Sammy is kind of used to beating up on her. And I think that they could find a relationship together, and if they could make
But
it.
that does not sound like a good relationship.
No,
Right.
but it would be great for reality television.
Well, I actually think that MJ has grown a lot and has showed so much class and grace over the last several episodes. I predict that she is going to separate herself from her mother and become a much stronger person.
Excellent.
Mm.
That's a great prediction. I'm still predicting that Reza and MJ are related. By the way, that's gonna.
You won't
come
give up on
later.
this.
I really think there's something going on there.
But what is that gonna do if they are?
Are you kidding? Dun
Well,
dun dun.
Is that gonna be a dun dun? They're related.
Yeah.
Okay, moving on. We're
Yeah.
still rich. We still like love life. Okay, party. My prediction actually is that somehow after all is said and done, Gigi's gonna come back next season with a job.
I would love to see that.
She's gonna get a. Thank you. Bath and Body Works. Here I come.
Yeah.
Gigi.
Oh, no.
Starbucks.
Starbucks.
No.
They've got
No.
great insurance.
They do. No, not anymore. I hear.
Oh, I don't know.
All
They
right,
would-
moving on.
No,
Prediction.
I know what her job would be. She is going to try and become a stylist. I could see that.
Oh, yeah, I could see
Oh
that.
yeah.
Yeah.
But don't you think that would be an interesting thing for her to be like, I decided I should just get a job. I don't know.
Yeah. No,
I'm
that
throwing
would
out
be
there.
great.
To meet guys.
Prediction. Boom.
All right, guys. Well, listen, thank you so much for joining us on this season of Shahs of Sunset. Don't forget to vote for Maria on Dancing with the Stars.
Yes.
12 times.
Because you can.
Because you can.
All right. Where can we find you all?
Misty.
On Twitter, you can find me at Misty City LA.
Wow, you have your own sign. Du'a.
Oh, you can find me on Twitter, Du'a Kaissi, DuaKaissi on Twitter.
And you can find me at Twitter as well, at Yerman Gur. YermanGur. Gur.
And I'm Anna Koppel. You can Facebook me or follow me on Twitter at Koppel for Mayor, KOPPELFORMAYOR. Thank you so much for joining us this season, and we will see you next season right
Next
here
season.
at AfterBuzz TV.
Thank you, Sid.
From Bing.com, executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.